Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of October 21st. Before we get started, we gotta shout out our wonderful Patreon supporters. We have Mario Casillas, RetPallyRocks, Nick Rada, Peter Burnham, RetSpecOps, and Joe Glocks. Thank you guys so much for that continued support. Now, let's hop in and talk about what's going on in the game for this week. We'll of course start here on the regular retail game, and we have the Battleground bonus event for the PvPers. We have the PvP Brawl Deep Wind Dunk, and we also have Hallow's End continuing for this week. Now, last week I speculated, hadn't seen anything data mined, that there would probably be like a new mount or something for Hallow's End, and they did add another Headless Horseman mount. Apparently, a lot of people have gotten it already. Apparently, it's a very low drop chance. I have not gotten it, but after my very bad luck with Brewfest, I guess I'm not expecting to, considering I didn't get that with so many tries. I'm not going to do as many tries on this one because I do have the original Horseman's Reigns, so and they also added an attire that's much easier to get. So like a transmog just kind of makes you look like the Headless Horseman a little bit. And, that attire is pretty easy to get if you just do the queue up for the dungeon or whatever. So Hallow's End not getting a ton of stuff. It is also worth pointing out in this video that they added, they had talked about adding like a spooky story mode, PvE mode, to kind of like replace Plunderstorm kind of thing as like a PvE game mode, and it was going to be like a spooky story mystery type thing or something. I had assumed that this might come out with Hallow's End, but since they haven't talked about it or mentioned it at all, I assume maybe it's not going to be coming out. I think I had said that before as well, that at this point I assume it's not coming out, so maybe they scrapped it, maybe they just decided there wasn't going to be much interest in it. But yeah, that didn't come out with Hallow's End, so unless it's going to randomly come out on Halloween or something, which it could, but it would also have to be like completely encrypted, because they would have found it by now if it was going live or whatever, or maybe it was done and they have just kept it secret and they data mined it a long time ago and it was actually done back then. Who knows? But I don't anticipate it coming out. As far as alpha goes, there is not a ton of stuff going on the alpha front. In fact, not a lot of people are not even doing alpha stuff right now, with like things like Fellowship coming out, which is like a Mythic Plus simulator. So a lot of the high end people are doing that. Some of the lore people are still in the alpha, exploring and going through quest lines and stuff, and finding things here and there. But there's not just a ton of news coming out on the alpha right now. In some ways, I like that because I don't feel like I'm missing out by not having alpha. But on other ways, it's like, yeah, you'd like a little bit of news, especially stuff pertaining to the kind of stuff that I enjoy doing. So whether that's Rat Paladin, I am paying attention to like exploration and stuff, because sometimes that comes with secret finding, but nothing appears obvious on that front as well. So no major news on the alpha. Legion Remix. Now this is what's popping off in World of Warcraft. So Legion Remix is absolutely popping off. Legion Remix on my channel is popping off. Thank you to all the new viewers from the Legion Remix, the new subscribers from Legion Remix. I'm having a blast going through and soloing things on Legion Remix and trying to present challenges to myself to try to overcome and accomplish on there. And I'm having a blast doing it. So overall, Legion Remix is great. They right before I started this video, they had put out some notes for Legion Remix, specifically hotfixes, and it was mostly like fixing some quests and some interactions that were like buggy or something like that. There wasn't anything that I saw that is fixing like the dungeon bugs that I've encountered while doing stuff. So nothing yet, but maybe that'll just get fixed tomorrow, or maybe they're just not going to bother fixing it. And that's like Helya has way too much health, and the last boss in Iowa Jera can mess up as well, I believe, from my experience at least. So there's some interesting things going on there, and no fix to that. However, I did see that they coded Il'gynoth away in Emerald Nightmare. That's the one where you kill the ads and then you have to kill the slimes underneath the eye. They made it so the slimes don't die unless they're within range of the eye. At least that's what they tried to do. It's a unique fix to that that kind of like makes it as not an annoying thing, because the reality is on Remix, that's probably the easiest boss to do because it just has such low health, and you like one geared person can just solo Wilganoth easily, like without any at all like issue or whatever. But like the issue is that when you have a bunch of people, which is kind of what they want you to have, people kill the little blobs too soon, and then they, you know, you have to wait longer, and it turns into the longest fight actually. Even though it's like the easiest one, it can sometimes be by far the longest fight. So I'm glad that changed. I would also just like to see maybe each blob does like 15% instead of 5% or something, so you just need less blobs. It's kind of a pointless encounter once anybody has any level of gear whatsoever. You don't need max gear even to trivialize that fight. So good change, but I think it could even be better, honestly. So yeah, Legion Remix absolutely popping off. For this week, what I'm looking for is I'm going to be trying to get my Horseman mount still, of course, and finishing up the last few pieces of the transmog that I need. I also do Trick or Treat with my son. So we have done all of Eastern Kingdoms and we did all of Dragon Isles. And we're getting tricky treats that way, you know, just by coincidence. So I'll be able to look and see if there's anything I need to purchase from the vendor there. He wants to do Kalmador next. So probably tomorrow we'll do Kalmador. And we're going to try to hit up everything, hit up all the different zones and do all the trick-or-treating. He likes to do that a lot. So that's another thing I will be doing on retail this week. And then, of course, playing a lot of Legion Remix and just making my character stronger. There's only so much you can do per day unless you just straight grinding dungeons. And so I don't want to grind too many dungeons. Like I already need to do my vault on here. Unless if I get a weapon this week from my vault, my character will be almost done. So, you know, but then I need to grind crests, I suppose, to max out my eye level. Yeah, we'll come to that bridge when we get to it. But I'm probably not going to just sit and grind keys endlessly on Legion Remix. But what I do like to do is get stronger and try to do, you know, plus up my key, my own personal key. And I like to do those solo. So right now my own personal key is 36 at level 36, and I've progressed that up solo by myself. I just plus 3 to 33 Arcway, which is by far the easiest of the dungeons. So I'm going to try to actually do like a 36 or 37 in a pug probably, and re-roll my key, and maybe I get another Arcway or something like that, and just slowly push my key up higher. Because I would like to do a plus 40 challenge as well, but I'm definitely not strong enough to pull that off quite yet. My character's on Legion Remix is not quite strong enough yet. So, like I said, having a blast, doing all these things, having stuff to do, feeling like it's fun and everything. You know, meanwhile, other people are, you know, trying out Fellowship or playing Alpha or doing other things. But a lot of players are doing Legion Remix, man. I think a lot of content creators slept on Legion Remix and how good it is. So. That's it for this one, though, guys. A little bit longer because we had 3 different versions of the game to at least mention here. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. Subscribing helps me out a lot. If you're already a subscriber, I encourage you to check out my Patreon and the links below. And other than that, everybody have a good one.